welcome back to another episode of the One Podcast. I'm your host, Juan. Make sure to follow me on social media at the One Podcast on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I know we have to keep the tech overlords happy, so make sure to follow me on there. And today we are joined by... Have you been on this pod? Yeah, you've been on this podcast, right? Or was it the Juan Hour?
I think it was the Juan Hour.
Yeah. So today we have
the first one.
Eza with us again. Going to be talking about what the numbers have to say. Last time we were on, the numbers literally told me to fucking pull out. And
we'll
I don't know if I...
this time. We'll check this time.
I don't know if I did. So what's up, dude? What have you been up to? I know you've been posting some fire shit. And what is going on? What are we not seeing? Have they made you take the vaccine? What's going on? Is it weird now that when you talk to somebody nowadays, the first thing you ask them is, "Hey, are you vaccinated?"
Oh hell yeah! You have to kind of sketch them out first, to see if whether or not they're a Karen or not.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I told somebody today, I was like, I hope we're right about this shit, because maybe 5 years from now we're gonna see the commercials online. You know the commercials like, you could be entitled to compensation from the corona vaccine.
If you or a loved one have taken blah, 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 blah. They're on every night. I've
always said, I think it's how far they can push the envelope. How far? What did you see? What Australia passed today? Did you see that shit?
What the hell they do today?
They passed something straight out of Orwell's 1985, bro. They passed a law saying that they could quite literally hack into people's phones and track their location without a warrant whenever they want. What do they call it? Contact tracing, 100%. Coming to a United States near you.
Isn't Samsung and Apple into something? They're doing something like that too, but they're not calling it.
You mean
the contact tracing?
You mean they've already been doing it? You know what I mean? I saw Joe Rogan live on Saturday, and one of his jokes was that it was he's like, this thing, it's eventually gonna get smaller and smaller and smaller to where it gets so small you can just put it right up your ass, and they're gonna tell you, hey, it's gonna be, how the Apple every year it gets bigger and bigger. It's like, what if it's in your ass, and then every year they come out with the iPhone 27, it just gets a little bit bigger in your fucking ass.
Yep.
Because that's what it is.
I can't remember what movie it's from, but the Apple iPhone is like this fucking long, and it's like sticking out somebody's fucking pocket.
I've seen that somewhere. I don't know where it was.
I can't remember what movie that's from.
Do you remember the scary movies? You remember those movies?
Hell yeah.
When society wasn't a bitch and
you could just make jokes.
You know what I started reading last night? I started reading the Watchmen graphic novel last night.
Oh yeah.
And some of the I was reading, I was like, man, this is it's pretty. Some of the shit in there is kind of racist. I was like, kind of cancel culturally. I'm like, I don't know, but if this
off guard a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Because you're not used to. It's almost, again, George Orwell's 1984, to where you don't think where people fuck up is you don't think it's gonna happen to you, right? And I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I'm sure all the people who have talked shit about the Rona and they get sick and they die, it's almost like it's ironical, right? But I talked to somebody today, I was like, do they target people, or people bringing this upon themselves? Is it some sort of AI that targets specific people? Did you see what Neil deGrasse Tyson fucking posted on Twitter?
What did he post on Twitter today?
Dude, I posted it.
Today.
I posted it on my story, and I said, it makes my balls hurt. I said, in case anyone is curious, he said, this is his Twitter. In case anyone is curious, right now in the USA, every 10 days, more than 8,000 (unvaccinated) Republican voters are dying of COVID-19. That's 5x the rate for Democrats. Bruh.
Oh, it's perfect. Oh, it's so perfect though. Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, they're trying so hard. They're trying so hard.
What do you. I've gotten to the point, dude, where I don't know what the motive is. And I just did a podcast where, shout out to Mandy, where she said, we are the reptilians. We are the Illuminati. We are the people causing all this chaos. And I don't know if I can accept that truth. I don't know if I can accept that world where we are the reptilians, bro.
I don't know about that. I'm more on the fence of, hey, someone got here and was like, "What the fuck have you guys done?" And then like had to go all the way back.
It's that one meme with the lizards. Like the overlords are gonna reset the simulation back to wherever, and it's we're living in this West world where depending on your decision, it depends on what arc of the story that you go down, right? And I feel like we're down the wrong arc. I feel like we're going down the wrong path. Like this, it wasn't. I don't think it was supposed to happen this way. Like
but what if things have changed otherwise?
I'm
You
gonna
know,
s- I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and let me know what you think.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this, but correct me if I'm wrong. Coronavirus started relatively close to when Jeffrey Epstein came out and killed himself. Who's to say that these archonic forces and these archonic beings aren't they're willing to do whatever, right? Who's to say that they're not willing to sprinkle a little bat on somebody's fucking egg roll somewhere? You know what I mean? you
But
know?
I also heard that this whole Rona thing wasn't supposed to happen until 5 years later. It happened earlier than it was supposed to, so they're having to, you know, kind of improvise midway through a generational taskbar. So they're having to make mistakes in which they weren't planning on. In which I think this is what my thought is.
I can agree with you on that because they always seem to fuck shit up, right? They
Oh
always
yeah,
seem to first of all, they're not that creative, so they have to come up with some new thing. And but part of me says every generation, like that one video that I posted and it went viral on TikTok, and it's good when people start arguing on your comments.
no hell
The
yeah,
one about the X53A.
yeah, yeah.
And I say the same thing over where history doesn't repeat itself. It often rhymes, and we're seeing the same shit right now. For those that don't know,
Over and
the
over.
FDA approval wasn't for the one that you took. You know, oh, it's the same genetic makeup. How the fuck do you know that? How do you know? They could literally be putting bleach in your body and you won't know
Yeah,
because why? Because you're blindly. I'm pretty sure the guys at Tuskegee, when they were when they were volunteering for the trials, I'm pretty sure they didn't think that the government was gonna fuck with them. They were giving them
hell no.
placebos.
They were sweet talking them the whole way. They were
Probably
telling them
was like, oh, you're gonna join the service and all this shit.
hell yeah. They were like, oh, you're gonna be a hero. You guys are gonna be your names are gonna be in history. Oh yeah, your names definitely went in history. They didn't lie about that part.
Did you know that they received a settlement? Right, like more than a lot. Actually, a lot of them received a settlement, but it was so many of them that they just, at the end of the day, it wasn't really a lot of money.
Of course, it was never gonna be a lot of money.
And I bring up the aspect of money, right? If we are in some sort of simulation created by Elon Musk himself, and did you see the AI robot that he? Did you see how cringe that reveal was?
Yes, his
Where
stuff
it's
is
like
always cringe.
dancing.
His,
Why is
his
he so fucking weird,
he's
man?
he's so because he's smart. They're always weird. They're always weird. They have I think they have a certain amount of social skill
Yeah.
in which they just try and be normal, but it just comes out weird. It just comes out like, hey, maybe just don't, just you shouldn't do that. don't do that.
I don't
But
know what the fascination is with going to another planet, because
it,
if take mushrooms and look at a manta ray, that shit's an alien, bro. A manta ray. Have you seen a manta ray?
hell yeah.
It's a
We
fucking
don't even
alien.
know. We don't even know what's in our oceans, man. That shit is so deep we can't even go down there. But they're like, hey, let's go to space though.
What was that hole that they dug into the Earth's crust? I think it was like 7 miles or something like that. Did you hear the sounds that they picked up when they put a microphone down into the?
Yeah, yeah. Sound like people screaming.
Yeah. How fucked up is
Yeah,
that?
I saw that. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
And I wanted to talk. We did a live stream yesterday, and I wanted to talk about Hollow Earth, and we never got to it because I just been thinking about that lately, about how Admiral Byrd was this guy that was a no bullshit guy, like straight up decorated.
Yeah,
Uh,
he was Indiana Jones to the max.
Indiana Jones, and he was the one talking. I want to find an alternative for YouTube because I looked up the video of him saying we're gonna battle aircrafts that can move at high rates of speed from the North and South Pole. When I looked that up, dude, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I know. I saw that once and I've never seen it again.
But you know which one I'm talking about, right? It was in black and white.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the black and white, the longer version one.
Yeah, and I went to go look
Yeah.
for it so I could clip it and put it on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Most of the
Fucking
interviews are all chopped up now. You can't even find the whole interview.
again, 1984, where they're changing history in real time, and when you tell people these things, they literally they don't care. And
No. Nope.
at the end of the day, we're giving power and meaning to these politicians that supposedly care about you, and we follow all these laws. What's the one message? I'm trying to go to the Georgia Guidestones. What's the message on there? It's like, don't pass petty laws or some shit.
Yeah. And then there's the certain population number you can't go over. Was it 800 million or something like that?
500 million. But
500 million.
aside from the first two tenets on there, I could get behind the Georgia Guidestones. I think we should. Well, we don't know. We don't technically. We don't know who built it. Was R.C. Christian, which a lot of people say that's the Rosicrucians, the Christians, or it's like some. Obviously, it's a pseudonym, right? It's not
Yeah, yeah,
anybody real,
yeah.
but
It's yeah.
I think for 2024 we should, elect somebody to represent the Georgia Guidestones and be like, hey, you know what I mean? We have to, and Georgia Guidestones 2020, Cthulhu 2024, with Lovecraft's great old ones. Imagine them running the fucking Senate.
That'd be crazy. But again, you can't trust anybody nowadays.
So what are we supposed to do?
Oh, I want to watch it crumble. I love Joe Biden. I love seeing him every day. Just fuck up.
I saw
love
the
it.
one where they were having like some CDC meeting, or he was somewhere. He's like, I'm here with the so and so. Yeah, they I'm like, man,
Dumb
this guy was
motherfucker.
84 million views and 84 million votes.
Yep. Yeah.
And I've also been hearing about the Trump becoming the Speaker of the House theory.
Yeah. I've heard that going around. It's been going around for quite a while.
How many times in history has the House of as the Speaker of the House become president?
I have no idea. I don't know. I would imagine at least once because they have to have some sort of rules for it.
Let me see here. So they're third in line. So, right, for example, from 1839 to 1863, there were 11 speakers, only one of whom served for more than one term. To date, James K. Polk is the only Speaker of the House who was later elected president of the United States.
But it said elected.
Yeah, so I think maybe he ran.
I guess there was no
Who the fuck is this
down the
James
line.
K. Polk? Who is this? Talk about is it a shitty president we don't even know about.
Number 3
This
to
was
number 1.
the 11th president.
Oh, number 11, huh?
James Knox Polk was the 11th president of the United States, serving from 1845 to 1849. Damn.
Hot damn.
These guys were racist as fuck.
Just ruling shit.
Yeah, he was previously the Speaker of the House of Representatives and Governor of Tennessee, a protege of Andrew Jackson. He was a member of the Democratic Party and an advocate of Jacksonian Democracy. What the fuck?
Jeez, Jacksonian Democracy.
Oh man, we're about to go down a wormhole, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead.
Jacksonian Democracy was a 19th century political philosophy in the United States that expanded suffrage to most white men over the age of 21 and reconstructed a number of federal institutions. Of course. Federal institutions.
Sounds about right. Sounds about
Originating with the 7th U.S. President Andrew Jackson and his supporters, it became the nation's dominant political worldview for a generation. The term itself was in active use by the 1830s. Wow. So, let me see here. Andrew Jackson, wasn't he killed?
Yeah. Aren't they all?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't he like, didn't he have, was this the guy that had the duel with the other guy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What a fucking badass.
I think so. Yeah.
Could you imagine it if we
Can you imagine if leaders actually fought their battles?
No, but I'm saying if we still had like what do they call them? Duels nowadays? Could you imagine
Oh my gosh,
Joe Biden and Donald Trump doing like some sort of duel?
Oh, I would love that. We just need to just do Game of Thrones, just turn the power off. You know, everybody get their banners.
Where does it stop? Where do you think we go from here? What's the next step? Because they say that Australia is what, a month behind us or something like that, and they've already
they're beta testing. They're beta testing Australia right now just to see how far they can get them on their knees, how fast they can do it.
And they have no guns.
Yeah, they have no guns.
They can't do a damn thing about it.
They did that a long time ago.
Just 2-3 weeks ago, what was the main thing? It was, Cuba, right? Cuba, we need to liberate the Cubans. And then out of nowhere, just nothing anymore. And that's what I tell people. I go, next year, they're going to find something to complain about. The year after that, next week, they're going to find something new to complain about.
6 months. Every time a new iPhone comes out, they have something to complain about.
Yeah, and I just don't know where we're going. I've already accepted the fact that if I don't ever get to travel ever again, I think I'll be all right. I think I'll be all right.
Well, nobody really needs to be traveling anywhere right now.
Let's look up to see here. You know what number I keep having come up?
Which one?
What was that? Here we go. Gematrix. So
yeah,
everybody knows. Well, not everybody knows, but the Mayans actually copied the Aztecs. The Aztecs were the OGs. The Aztecs were the ones that were probably talking to aliens and whatnot, or even though they all were. But the Aztecs calendar ends September 21st or 22nd, 2022.
It's 21st, yeah.
And now I'm seeing that kind of, just recently I've seen that number come up. And is it another 2012 to where they're putting people's hopes up? And then when it comes around, I always thought that when I was a kid growing up, because the first conspiracy that put me in conspiracies was the Bermuda Triangle. And
yeah,
I remember growing up as a kid, I was like, man, that's fucked up that they're letting people come out with these ideas talking about the world's going to end in 2012, right? An exact date, December 21st, 2012. It's like, the mass hysteria that's going to go on when this date comes along. I always thought that. I was like, man, this is just going to drive the world into like chaos. Like,
it's just perpetual fear. Just a cycle. A cycle of fear.
Yeah.
They just don't want to stop that.
And that's how they get people, right? Like this neuro-linguistic programming where
that's what they're doing right now.
And speaking of programming, did you see the? I don't know if it's out yet, but did you see that they're actually coming out with the Matrix 4?
Matrix 4.
Yeah.
That's going to be terrible. I
The
think it's going to
second,
be pretty
the
terrible.
second and the third one weren't that bad, to be honest. It's always the first one, right? Like the first Alien is the best Alien, aside from
Like,
Prometheus, because I think Prometheus was
I,
amazing.
oh, hell yeah. Prometheus was great. Everybody was talking shit about it. I love Prometheus.
I think that was one of their better movies because I like that. I like the engineers. I want them to do like a spin-off of just the engineers by themselves.
I thought that's what the Prometheus was going to be about. I thought the engineers were going to have more of like a center focus, but
Yeah, they did a thing,
they
with
focused more on David and the robots. But that's fine.
the AI, right? The AI that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
of
is
course.
going to later take over and just the hive mind. And again, there's movies about this shit to where the Terminator, the Matrix, symbols are the language to the soul, and they put out these symbols through the linguistic programming to where, hey, maybe this might happen. This is a possibility. Like, look at I Am Legend. Like, I Am Legend is exactly what we're going through right now, and everybody
Yep.
turns into these. Were they cannibals or were they vampires? They were vampires, right?
Yeah, they had some sort of like level of like consciousness, but I get they were still like animalistic.
Yeah, and the light did them wrong. So I think in the comic it's vampires, and in the
Yeah.
comic I'm gonna check the graphic novel or the comic whatever. I'm gonna check it out. They actually
In the
capture him.
movie, they didn't really address the vampire thing, except the night them sleeping at night. That's the
Yeah,
them getting huddled up
and
together.
the sun. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna read the graphic novel or the comic or whatever because supposedly in that they capture him and they have like a trial. So like in the comic, I guess they have like a civilization, you know.
Ah, gotcha. That'd be tight.
So what have you figured out through your? I know you go down rabbit holes daily. Have you seen anything different as of lately?
As of lately, all the fucking floods. Have you seen that? You been keeping track of that?
All the floods.
Have you been keeping track of all the floods everywhere?
It's funny you mentioned floods because I'm supposed to go to Georgia and I'm going
Yeah.
to be going to Helen, Georgia, to where there's a river that runs through there. And a few weeks ago, it was actually flooded, and I thought that was kind of weird because I want to go tubing on the river. What
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
th- what do you think that is? Is it harp or some shit? You believe in harp?
Uh, yeah. It. I don't really know what harp. Who controls harp? I mean, they hit a whole new level of like terrorism, fucking with the weather. Like you guys are on a whole different level of genius. Like I should be upset with you guys, messing with the weather, but I'm like on another level. I'm like, you guys really did that. You fuckers really did it.
Where is it in Dubai that they let off like cracks of electricity and they make it rain? Have you seen that?
Yeah, yeah. Did
But
you see the video where the NASA where they make clouds and then the cloud
mhm,
later on goes in to make rain?
yeah,
You
but
guys do it.
dude, if they're able to, and by they I mean the reptilian esque crowd, right? The crowd that's not all there. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
they're able to literally, I feel that with these esoteric teachings, you're able to honestly ascend dimensions and have otherworldly powers. To me, controlling the weather is really nothing. If you're able to control time itself, if the Pentagon is coming out and telling you, hey, we have technology that's able to predict events, it's like, well, really? Why don't you fucking do anything to stop those events? How far in advance? Just a couple days. Well, what's a couple? Is it 2 days? Is it seven? Is it
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Well, you know,
Is
with
it is
NASA,
it
because
is it predicting the future if you cause it? You know what I mean?
you know what? I would say yes. Well, because you know, with NASA and Tornado Alley, you know, they don't provide, you know, second by second satellite footage in order to warn people. They're like, oh no, you guys can't have. We don't really have that information. What?
Hold on,
You
dude. Give
guys
me
you
one
can't guys you
second.
guys can't provide that information.
Oh my goodness, dude. Check this out. Rogan got the Rona.
Oh, of course he did. Did he get the shot?
I don't think so. He was just in Florida. I just saw him on Saturday. He
Oh
has the
yeah, that's why.
Rona. And
That's
he
why.
announced, let's see here. He announced it on his Instagram. Joe Rogan announced on Instagram that he has COVID-19. Rogan said he's treating the illness, among other things, ivermectin, which obviously that's the horse dewormer that everybody's fucking talking about. The
Hmm.
unproven treatment / horse dewormer beloved by anti-vaccine activists and right-wing politicians who allegedly are not horses. In a video, an exhausted-looking Rogan said that over the weekend he tested positive after having felt run down and feverish. We immediately threw the kitchen sink at it, he said. Monoclonal antibodies in her victim, Z-Pack, Prez, prednisone or some shit. 3 days of treatment, he claimed, had him feeling like a new man. Huh.
Steroids.
Somebody put Joe is definitely secretly vaccinated. Yikes, bro.
Would
That's
he say he got the shot, or would he not say he got the
no.
shot?
Dude, he made it seem like he hasn't. Who the hell is this guy that's writing to me? Some guy sent me that shit. Who is this? Some guy I don't even follow back. I'm gonna follow him back, but that's fucking funny. Well, it's not funny because I don't want Rogan to go away, but let's check out the post. Let me see here.
Hmm.
I didn't even know about this, man. Oh, yeah.
I didn't either.
Hello, friends. So, I got back from the road Saturday night, feeling very weary. I had a headache, and I just felt just run down. And just to be cautious, I separated from my
On Saturday, that's when he went to fucking
family, slept in a different part of the
Florida.
house. And throughout the night, I got fevers and sweats, and I knew what was going on. So, I got up in the morning, got tested, and it turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pack, prednisone, everything. And I also got an NAD drip and a vitamin drip, and I did that 3 days in a row. And so here we are on Wednesday, and I feel great. I really only had one bad day. Sunday sucked, but Monday was better. Tuesday felt better than Monday, and today I feel good. I actually feel pretty fucking good. That's the good news. The bad news is we have to move the Friday show in Nashville.
Everybody called that
going
shit
to
too. They're like, oh,
Sunday,
the hurricane, which,
that'll be the new Nashville.
damn, son. 2.9
Wow.
million views.
Oh wow.
God, because he even
So
came out and said that he wouldn't perform anywhere that would require a vaccine report.
so
Or
what's gonna be
a
the
vaccine
what's gonna be
passport, I'm
his?
sorry.
So is he gonna flip, or is he not gonna flip?
Well, if he survives it, bro, you know all the shit he's gonna talk. But I think I'm pretty sure he's vaccinated, bro. I don't think he would. He,
You think
somebody
that would
of
be in his contract? You think he was that slick to put that in his contract
put what?
about medical shit?
Such
You know what
as
I mean?
like to be able to talk about it.
Like, yeah, or to say like, hey, I got the shot or something like that.
What do you mean though? To like he signed a contract for him to not have to talk about that shit?
Yeah, yeah. You think he'd be that slick about doing that?
No, I don't think so.
Uh,
To be honest, I don't see a reason for that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I just I think I just think he's vaccinated. I mean, if you're worth that much money, dude, you're gonna do whatever. You know what I mean? Even if it, your chance, like look at, well, that's a bad example, but the guy from Apple, he died from pancreatic cancer, but because supposedly he had ignored recommendations of treatment,
Hmm.
he didn't want to take treatment for it.
For the COVID.
No, for the pain. I'm talking about
Just
Steve
just for
Jobs.
the just for the just for the pancreatic stuff.
Yeah, he said that he
Huh.
wouldn't. In what I read, said he wouldn't take treatment for it. So I guess either he wanted to die or some shit. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe they gave him like a bad prep talk. Hey, yeah, maybe like, hey, they told him, hey, this isn't going away, no matter what you do. You know how doctors can be. Hey, this
Yeah.
is you got.
It's like, would you rather
you got like
suffer
one in a
now?
million. Yeah, they probably talked him down so bad that he probably didn't even get maybe a second, third, fourth opinion about it.
But dude, the richest guy in the world. That's why I tell people that money really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Money is just these little symbols. If you had a substantial amount of money and you went to the bank right now and you try to pull $100,000, $200,000, they're not going to give it to you. That's why. Do you follow cryptocurrency at all?
Not really. Nah. I
Like
mean,
Bitcoin?
not really. But I hear stuff about it.
Yeah, so it's pretty much blockchain technology, and what it is
I hear
is
it's just very volatile. It's just,
yeah,
up and down every day.
we pay for something like right now, for example, Ethereum, which is one of the cryptocurrencies, is 37.84.
Isn't Tether with
Yeah.
Ethereum? Yeah.
So you have Tether, which is there's different types of coins linked to it. And there's like a stable coin where it'll have the value tied to the US dollar. And so they call stable coins because they're exactly that. It tracks the value of the US dollar. And one US dollar is one USDT or USDC, whatever coin it is.
Yeah.
And it's just pretty much just currency, right? But what blows my mind is that we've already been using virtual currency. We've already been doing that this entire time. What difference does it make if we change its name or just adopt different
Yeah.
forms of it? If right now when you get your check, what is it deposited somewhere? It's not like the movies where you have a room that's full of money. And in the
Yeah.
1970s, the Federal Reserve, they passed a law where they didn't have to back the money up by physical gold, which is how they did it back then. Now it's, hey baby, print all the money you can, all this
All
monopoly
day.
money.
All day,
Uh,
all day.
and we know how much that worked out for the Germans in World War One when they were literally scooping up the money from the streets and burning it to keep warm because there was just so much
Hmm.
money. And we've seen this system failed over and over and over again. And I think we're in the phase to where we're either waiting for an asteroid to hit us, right, to just reset everything, because they always talk about these great resets, right?
Of
Like
course. Yeah.
Tartaria,
Yeah.
where they just, what happened to them? Oh, we don't know. They just disappeared. What if they had a certain day in the year to where everybody was attuned to the same frequency as a whole, as a humanity, and when that day or that equinox lined up a certain degree, everybody just boom, just like some sort of rapture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Well, because when you look at old pictures, there's nobody on the streets.
What do you
Nobody.
mean?
You'll see. If you go look at old pictures back from like 1850, you'll see huge cities, gorgeous cities, but no people on the streets. You would think it'd be a hustle and bustle, but no, there would be no people on the streets. You see maybe one or two wagons, but with a city that size, you'd be like, hey, where are the people? And like with foundlings, little kids, that they would take around the world to adopt. They would just have a whole bunch of kids for some reason. Why do you have all
That's
these kids on these trains?
that's dark, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, where do all the parents go? So how does that work with ancestry? Everyone's
So
ancestry is all fucked up.
so what are you trying to get at, dude? Like that you think that they were like some clone kids or something that just set out to establish the country?
Have you seen the show His Dark Materials?
His Dark Materials? No.
His Dark Materials. I think it's on Sci-Fi. Might be on Sci-Fi. I can't remember if it's
It's
on
on
Sci-Fi or
Hulu.
not.
Oh, it's on HBO actually.
HBO. So apparently, it's on the second season. This dark matter only infects the adults, but leaves the kids. So when I was watching that, I was like, "What the hell?"
Is
Sounds.
this a
I mean,
book?
I have no idea. It might be.
Because they said here the American Library Association's 2008 banned book list identified the title as the second most requested book to be banned across the country.
Oh wow.
What the fuck? So apparently it
Yeah.
has been banned.
You need to watch that show.
I'm now.
Even though it goes all out with that show, but it's a
Yeah,
good show.
I'm gonna have to check it out because that's
Check out that show.
I never knew about this show. But I'm looking at these 1850 pictures, and it's true. They have they're
Gorgeous
just
cities.
cities
They're
where
huge.
I mean, could people have been sleeping when they took the picture?
But come on, man. Like it looks like it's in the middle of the day when they take these photos and there's
So
just
you they
nobody on the
use the
street.
foundlings. So my whole thing is, where did the foundlings come from?
Where are the parents from the foundlings is my question. So you have these tons of kids on these trains, but no
And it wasn't just in
parents.
the United States; it was
No,
overseas
no,
as
no.
well.
Yeah, it was everywhere. Like it was everywhere. So where did all the parents go? They just it's just vanished like that. No parents, just kids.
So you think, okay, it's like that one movie that I brought up yesterday, but Tom didn't know the name of. What's the movie on Netflix with what's the chick's name? The one where they have the blindfold on and they can't look at whatever's.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock. What's that? What's the
Sandra Bullock.
movie?
Birdcage. No,
Birdcage.
no, not Birdcage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think.
That's another movie. Was it Birdcage? Birdcage is another movie.
Hold on, let's see here. Pull that up, Jamie. Sandra Bullock. Here, let's see here. Netflix movie.
I'm thinking
Bird
of that
Box.
Robin Williams. Bird Box, not Birdcage.
Bird
Birdcage was
Box.
Robin Williams.
So something like that, to where maybe it didn't affect. It only affected the people. It's like some shit out of The Mist or something. You know,
It had to be because how would you explain that?
well, that's why I think being a conspiracy theory sometimes, conspiracy theorist sometimes is stupid because, bro, we got motherfuckers talking about the world being flat.
Hey, you never know. I know, right?
Do you think the world's flat? Don't tell me you fucking believe the world's flat.
I think the world is not what we've been told. What would you do with $15 billion a year?
I don't know.
And you had to keep a secret. Would you keep a secret or would you let that 15 billion go?
So this would answer one of my questions as to why, if to be on this realm or this existence, what the point is of acquiring money. And if you think about it, okay, let's say 15 billion a year, right? The reason that they would accept money is to be able to enjoy the video game, right? If somebody gives you a bunch of, it's like you being a kid and going to the arcade and being like, hey, take this sack of money Every time you're done with the money, you just go and ask your parents for some more money to get more tokens. And you're just having a grand time just playing in the arcade. Fuck whatever happens. I know this is a game. I know this is an arcade. But I'm just going to keep spending my money in the arcade. You know what I mean? That's...
Yeah. Some people are like that. The dude from the Matrix. What's his name? The dude who betrayed
Keanu
everybody.
Reeves? Or
No. No, he betrayed everybody.
Oh, I know who you're talking. I don't know the name.
He had a meeting. He had a meeting with the
well,
the
he's
machines.
eating the steak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like, I know this steak isn't steak. He's like, but it's so fucking delicious.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. I think it was this some philosopher guy I listened to who said I'd still pick reality over, or I'd still pick the Matrix over reality because the Matrix is delicious or some shit like that. I don't remember what the paraphrasing was, but it was pretty much like I'll take whatever they're feeding me just because. Yeah. And I feel like that sort of thinking is dangerous. But
it is dangerous. Yeah. Some people can't take it though. Some people don't want to question it. They just want to be cozy.
Yeah, like how he tells them, like, if send me back and I want to have a bunch of money and shit. If I get back,
I don't want to remember anything that happened. He's like, I don't want to remember nothing.
Yeah, but then they just end up fucking killing his ass. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. But what did you expect happened?
So you think that they left those kids, and for those that don't know, foundlings are the early 1900s, late 1800s is such a weird period in time, especially with the world fairs, and it's got to do with Tartaria and this Atlantean lost knowledge. I don't know.
It's like a re-education type thing.
Yeah, what do they call it? Antiquitech?
Yeah.
To where, if you look at all these older buildings, it over and over, and then all these star forts. You see the star forts that are just everywhere. What are they?
They're everywhere.
They're like, oh well, it's to ward off the invaders, and then there's star forts in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's like, wait, what?
No. They had to be some sort of power center. There's always water flowing through them. So they were able to use the water currency as power, some sort of power source. Because the canals flowing through those are tremendous. Spotless.
Like
they're
the Great
just
Pyramid
fantastic.
of Giza type of shit, where there's water underneath it.
Yeah. So they harnessed the power of water somehow. Water and magnetism.
Who have I heard talk about how water is almost like this endless data center, right? Where you can store energy and memories and stuff like that, and information in water. I forgot. I think it was on Ancient Aliens or one of those episodes where there was a French guy talking about that.
Yeah,
and I thought it was the stupidest shit ever.
Water has some sort of memory to it.
Yeah, maybe the Akashic Records is the water.
Maybe.
Because where does the water come from? It comes from inside the earth. Right? That's what springs are.
That's right.
And all that shit. So you said there's a bunch of floods. What else is going on? I follow this guy, I think because of you, on YouTube that tracks the earthquakes.
Yeah. Dutch Sense.
Yeah. But I don't understand what he's trying to get at, because I feel...
So with him, he's trying to say that, hey, earthquakes are predictable. But most geologists say, hey, earthquakes are irrational, they're unpredictable, you can't tell where they're going to hit. But Dutch Sense was able to, if you track each earthquake, you're able to pinpoint in between each earthquake where the next earthquake is going to be. So let's say you have one earthquake here, one earthquake here. In the pinnacle here is where you're going to be looking for the next earthquake.
So what you're telling me is It's not the kaiju then coming through the portal?
No.
Fuck.
But also, there's another theory that they're blowing up all the tunnels underneath the ground, which is causing all the floods. So you know how there's secret tunnels everywhere.
No.
Yeah. Watch the water, man.
And I love the Hollow Earth theory because it's possible, right? Because even like in Turkey during Kuyu, this underground city. I believe it was the Aztecs. The Aztecs believe that their ancestors came from the ground. There's all these myths that talk about us coming from the ground. Even Native American and indigenous myths that talk about their ancestors coming out of the ground. Maybe, perhaps, yeah. There's these underground civilizations like Agartha. And what's the other one? There's another one, Shambhala or something like that.
Shambhala, yeah. Shambhala, yeah. I think what happened was something hot hit us, something really hot, and so we had to go underground. But I think we had to go underground for a very long time. But I don't know how long.
We would have mutated, though. I think, right?
We could. I mean, it would surprise me if we didn't mutate. But if we did mutate, I guess our eyesight would be first, right? Maybe our hearing. Probably our vocal cords.
The movie Descent, you know what I'm talking about? Where they're like blind, like bats that are blind. They can't even see. They just rely on sound.
Yeah. But maybe it wasn't so long where they still had some sort of human conscious to it.
In the book of Enoch, it talks about when he goes in to hell, and it's like he kind of hints at an inner sun inside the earth. And did you know that the first person to talk about concave earth, so like a hollow earth with a middle sun, was the guy that found Halley's Comet?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and let me find it here. Halley's Comet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got flack for that.
Oh, he died of throat cancer.
Heart attack. Oh,
no, throat
cancer.
Edmund Halley, the guy behind Halley's Comet, was, check this out, was an English astronomer, geophysicist, mathematician, meteorologist, and physicist. He was the second astronomer, and then he talked about, let's check this out. He talked about concave Earth. Let me look him up. And he said that the Earth, so the legendary scientist who swore our planet is hollow in 1869, again, a very weird time. Cyrus Reed T. This guy thought he was Jesus. He actually shocked himself. Let me see here. So he had shocked himself. He was trying to do these weird magnetism fucking experiments, and he actually started a cult in Florida called Christianity. Yeah, but let me look this up here. So, man is to be sure, but also the product of an idea put forth 200 years previous by one of the history's greatest scientific minds, Edmund Halley. You see, Halley noticed that the Earth's magnetic field is rather unpredictable, with its lines shifting from year to year. And Halley, after whom the famous comet is named, reckoned that the Earth's hollowness is to blame. We're standing on the outermost shell with 3 more concentric shells within. And the poles of these inner shells that throw off our magnetic field. So he pretty much thought that the Earth was concave, so it was like a big sphere and then a little sphere and then a little sphere inside there.
A Russian doll thing.
But out of all the people, right, this guy, and supposedly he died from throat cancer, and a lot of other astronomers and people who spoke out about certain things usually died from throat cancer, which is weird.
Sort of a symbolism type of thing.
Like, what do they do
Yeah,
today? They hang these
like
guys and then they tell you, oh, no,
like shut the hell up kind of thing.
he killed
Yeah,
himself.
show you the doorknob, you know.
Oh, yeah, he killed himself. Who's going to be the
Yeah.
next guy to kill himself?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Is it going to be?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not going to say any names, but
yeah.
use your imagination that these people, they're sick and they have no creativity at all. To where, so they're blowing up the hollow earth tunnels and creating floods. And what else is going on
That's
that you're seeing?
what else am I seeing? Let me check.
Because you sent me shit on the daily on Instagram.
Of course, of
And
course.
I saw you
Oh my
posted something
gosh!
about today
Did you
about
did you see that? Did you see the video where they had people sing about getting vaccinated in like a whole choir group?
what the fuck?
Did you see that? Did you see
No.
that cult shit? Let's see if I can play it.
What the fuck? That's so creepy, bro.
What the
Like,
fuck?
I don't understand the whole point of like pushing it so much. That's what bothers me the
Like,
most.
like you guys are really gung ho about it. Like this
Yeah.
really is some 1984 shit.
Yeah, exactly. But people are so blindly just to go in head first. Hey, I hope I'm right with the other people who are standing against this type of shit. Which, hey, if you're vaccinated, I don't give a fuck if you are. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
believe that you should be able to force somebody to do something just because, and then go against whatever, be mad at them for not thinking the way that you think.
I never saw them do this for the flu shot. This never happened. So why are you guys so gung ho about it?
Maybe it's a real thing, bro, and I don't doubt it. I think
Uh,
it's a real fucking thing. And I'll
I
be
think
honest
it's
with
a
you,
real
dude.
thing. I think it's a real thing, but I think it's only deadly if you're already, if you're already kind of sickly, you already kind of got pneumonia, you got blood problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna kick you in your ass. Yeah, it's gonna kick you in your ass.
Do you know anybody personally who's had it?
I have worked at a facility where I had to be around them
But you don't
in
know
the
anybody
beginning.
like in your family or
No,
that had it?
I don't know anyone who's had it.
Yeah, I've known of actually a few people who have had. I mean, we're in Florida, the COVID center of the world, so
Actually, that's a lie. I do know somebody. It was his dad. It was a coworker. Yeah. I do know someone, just one person.
I've known of people who they, what scares me the most is the varying severity
Yeah.
between different individuals. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's just
Yeah, yeah.
a cough and a sneeze with this guy, and it's like this guy's fucking dead. This
Yeah.
other guy over here is fucking dead, and that's what scares me the most about everything. Like,
And also
where
your mindset too. If you're already fearful and you're
yeah,
already kind of anxious and you already got anxieties and you're panicky and yeah, you're going to do a lot worse. Your mind is already telling you, "Hey, yeah, you're down. You're down for the count." So
yeah,
you're
and
going to be down for the
that's
count.
the whole thing between keeping a society oppressed, right? Because
Yeah.
if you're constantly that constant fear of knowing what might happen next, that's going to trigger people's immune responses and immune systems, and that stress, you release cortisol in your blood,
Mhm.
and that suppresses your immune system, which is what a lot of people don't understand. And it's always this rinse and repeat, problem solution, aftermath, whatever problem, whatever the name is. You know how the
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the cycles go. What was that? The something dialectic. What's it called? Isn't that a
Uh
philosophy?
yeah, something like that. I forgot what it was called.
Hegelian dialectic or some shit. I forgot the name of it.
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So Edmund Haley, concave Earth. They might be blowing shit up,
They might
and
be. They might be.
isn't that well? That's not fracking, but fracking, they're drilling into
Yeah.
the Earth's crust, right? Constantly.
Yeah, that is another thing of fracking. Yeah.
You posted a picture or a video of this guy that went on Google Earth, and if you zoom in, all the holes, dude.
Did you? I know, right? There are trillions of them.
I was like, what the
Like you
fuck?
you would think like you would just see maybe one or two, but no, it's a whole big fucking area.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Like what the hell are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
Trying to awaken the old ones. I don't fucking know, but it's pretty crazy. And where do you think this goes, dude? What's the next step after? So they're gonna flood us out. They're blowing up the inner Earth so we can't go back in. Then what?
You know what? Yeah. Well, Australia, they might be showing us what's happening in Australia. They're beta testing Australia, so they might try and say, hey, let's see if we can get America on their knees. But I think we're going to be the last ones. They might try Europe or maybe the Philippines next.
Europe or the Philippines?
Yeah.
Huh?
Have you seen the Philippines president?
Isn't that Manny Pacquiao?
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, wasn't he the president of the Philippines?
It's
He's a senator.
he's the president's Durante. Durante?
Oh, that crazy motherfucker, right?
Yes. Yeah. The dude who cleaned up all the drug dealers, who was going door to door.
Yeah, he wasn't even giving them trials. He was just fucking shooting them.
Yeah, he was just saying,
exactly
hey, where are the drug dealers at? And they were like, over there. And they were like, oh, okay, well, let's go get them.
That's so fucking crazy, dude. Can you imagine that? But right now,
I would listen. I would love the CDC to go down there. Just go down there. I'll watch.
the media is pretty much that they convict people before they've even been proven innocent. You know?
Oh yeah, of course. That's
Dude.
their MO. That's what they're supposed to do.
So that would be a bad thing. Well, a lot of these places like not North Korea, Vietnam, they're all communist government, and you don't do anything that the government doesn't tell you to do there. Like I have a friend of mine that lives out there, and he's like, "Bro, you protest here. It's like, hey, go the fuck home, or else we're gonna shoot you in the face."
Mm-hmm.
So you choose.
Yeah, there's no hey, let's talk about this. There's no talking.
Yeah, that's why it pains me when people are like, "Oh, we're so oppressed here in the United States." It's like, well, that flag represents fucking freedom to put whatever I want to put in my body and not put. But
just go over there for just 5 minutes. Just go over there for 5 minutes
to North Korea, bro.
You'll come back. You'll come back. I promise. Yeah.
And then the whole botched Afghanistan deal to where out of nowhere, dude, it was like, oh, we need to get out before the 31st. And then out of nowhere, it's like a headline, all Americans have been removed. It's like, just yesterday you were saying there was, too many left and that they wouldn't let them go. And then out of nowhere, boom, just.
Oh, we're out. Hey, we're out. Yeah.
Fucking A, bro.
Yep.
So we'll wrap it up with that, dude. You want to share your social media for people so they can find you and watch your videos and shit?
Yeah. I'm on social media, Instagram only right now. PETYR32, and that's where you're gonna find all my videos, all my cool stuff, weird stuff, and I'll be posting some more stuff.
Awesome, bro. And it's always a pleasure to have you on, dude. And
all right,
keep sending me the shit because
oh yeah,
it gets pretty fucking crazy.